That is right. It is a Thursday night football showdown. We got an interesting game tonight, at least a high-scoring game for sure. My name is Jon Jansen. Follow me at JJansen34 on Twitter. I'm joined by Stoweby. Follow him at STOWEBY. And this is all sponsored by the Sharp app. Go to sharp.link, and you can check out all the ways to download the Sharp app, whether that be on the Google Play Store, whether that be on the Apple App Store. And be sure, this is the start of Week 6. Week 5, we had, one of those 50K winner type things. Pretty good. And I saw 6K winners and 8K winners and C. Najad winning of Win Daily Sports. A lot of winning. And we're going to do that again in Week 6. Sign up for a free trial right now. 1 week free trial so you can check out over the weekend, tonight, then even Saturday for college football, and then Sunday as you're building your lineups for an NFL DFS Sunday, that you get all of the tools we have to offer. A 1 week free trial, the optimizer and projection model included. Use the promo code LiveWeek, and that link is in the description below on this video. But Stoweby, we got Thursday night football, and what I can say for today is points, and there's going to be a lot of points.
There is going to be a lot of points. It's probably going to be ugly, at least going in one direction, but there should be plenty of garbage time production to be had on the Eagles side. My condolences.
Yes, there is going to be a lot of, and look, I actually like, if this is any precursor to how I think this game is going to go, I like the Eagles at +7 because I think they're going to be able to stay in this game. And it's largely because that Tampa Bay defense is bad. So I don't think you can go into this completely ignoring Eagles players. You have to get them in your lineup. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit heavier on the side of Tampa Bay, mainly because I think this is pretty simple for them. They're going to throw the ball a lot. This Eagles team, I know you can run on, but I just don't think that's going to be the game plan. I think the game plan is going to be attacking that secondary outside of Darius Slay, attacking guys like Steven Nelson, Avonte Maddox, and the secondary as well, including the safeties like Ed Harris. So I think this is a straight-up passing game for both teams. And that means I'm getting Tom Brady and Jalen Hurts in any way into my lineups. And maybe to be a little bit sneaky, Jalen Hurts, and not sneaky, but Jalen Hurts, I would likely put in a captain spot over Brady. Would that make sense to you?
That would make sense. I think you'll get a little bit of an ownership discount with Hurts over Brady. I mean, Brady's going to be the chalkiest of the chalk plays today.
Yep.
And Tampa's secondary is attackable, and they have been all season, and injuries have just made the situation worse. That Tampa front is stout against the run. So the way that you would need to go after it is, attacking it through the air with Hurts and with,
Gainwell,
guys like honestly, over Sanders today.
Yeah. That's going to be the interesting one, Gainwell and Sanders, and how, because the Buccaneers, you can throw to running backs on them. Myles Gaskin, a really big example of that. But as we've seen, like, Miles Sanders does get some targets, but it's mostly been Kenny Gainwell. I actually think Kenny Gainwell, it's not too much salary. I mean, compared to some of the salary relief that we get, but I think this is a game where, yes, Kenneth Gainwell, and he does get enough of the red zone carries for some reason. It's not all the time, and it's not a lot, but he gets enough of them that he can score through carrying the ball in the red zone as well. So I think Gainwell at 2,400 is a must play in this one. This is likely going to be a big-time passing situation for the Eagles. The interior defensive line for the Buccaneers with Vita Vea is great. The Eagles don't like running anyway. I just think Gainwell's the guy. Miles Sanders, again, we've seen him get targets, but it really has been Kenneth Gainwell a lot.
Yeah. And if you're going to tell me, I mean, both of these guys are getting used roughly the same as far as your targets and touches go. I mean, Gainwell's a little more in the passing game, but I'm not going to sit there and pay full price for Sanders when I can get that salary relief for 2,400 and get a similar stat line when it's all said and done, and potentially better. It's that whole situation with Sanders is just completely frustrating, and I'm washing my hands of it until I see something change.
Yeah, and legitimately, Gainwell's just a better pass catching back, and this is a game script that is likely going to be a lot towards the pass catching back here in Kenneth Gainwell. So I think the Eagles, what we're going to try and do with them, I would say outside of Jalen Hurts, is I think we're going to try and get the cheaper guys. Like Zach Ertz is in play. I actually think Quez Watkins is in play here as well. So with the Eagles, they're your value plays, right? Is that what we're going for value? Because once you get to the Buccaneers, it's got to be Chris Godwin. It's got to be Mike Evans. It's got to be Antonio Brown. Leonard Fournette, I'm not big on the running game today. I just don't think it's going to happen with the way we're seeing this game script. I know the Eagles' rush defense is bad. I get that, but it's not like the Buccaneers are ever going to be like a give Fournette the ball, 30 times in a game or 25.
Yeah, that's
30.
not in their DNA.
No, they're going to throw the ball a ton, and I just don't see this game getting so out of hand that they just start handing it off to Fournette. If this game is relatively close, which I think it will be, then they're going to throw the ball. So you have to mix and match, I think, these Buccaneers wide receivers. I'm actually more inclined with Antonio Brown to get him in my lineup than anything.
Oh, yeah, I'm all about it. I've been all about Antonio Brown all season. I'll keep riding that. I like the upside he provides. Mike Evans gets the red zone targets. We all know that, and he's going to have his uptick while Gronk isn't around. But I mean, Antonio Brown he's still getting plenty of targets. He missed a full game, and he still has 29 targets, and he's gotten 8 and 11 in the last 2 games, and he's running like prime AB, in 2015. It doesn't look like he's taken any sort of step back. He's motivated, and he's in a great position. I've loved targeting him all year, and I'm willing to go back to him again tonight.
Yeah, and I think it's a good spot to go back to him because Darius Slay's the one. And I don't think he's going to shadow. He shadowed DJ Moore. Was not expecting that, but it certainly affected DJ Moore's ability to put up points last week because Darius Slay, I know he's had his issues with Philadelphia and all that, but he's still a very good defensive back. But it's outside of that you can attack, and I think just Antonio Brown is likely going to see, because he's in the slot, he's likely going to see a lot of Avonte Maddox, and Chris Godwin, I know, is probably going to see a lot of Steven Nelson, Avonte Maddox as well, because I know he switches around inside and out. So I imagine to me, it's a Brown and Godwin type day.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I never seem to find myself on Evans, and every once in a while that will burn me in situations like showdowns and things like that. But it's completely a boom or bust. So what I tend to do if I'm going to put Mike Evans in there, I tend to leave out guys like Brown and guys like Godwin, because if it's going to be Mike Evans, it's going to be all Mike Evans.
Yes.
There's not, it's an all or nothing approach. Either he gets 2 catches for 24, or he's going to get, 7 for 115 and 2 touchdowns. There's just no in between. And those targets end up going to guys like Godwin and Brown. So that's what I tend to do when it's the Buccaneers in Showdown.
Yeah, and that's how we're going to approach this one. Now, again, where you're getting your value is certainly it's the Eagles. It's Eagles players and Eagles players and Eagles players. Kenneth Gainwell, I think we identified as one. I put in Zach Ertz. I don't think we talked about him enough. Zach Ertz with Dallas Goedert out, I had to say a must play, but they've been using the tight ends more often. It's not been a lot, but this is going to be one of those games again where when they have gone into the red zone, it's been targeting a lot of tight ends, and they've been targeting them more recently. And Hurts is actually, outpacing, I'm pretty sure, Dallas Goedert in terms of targets. So now I think Ertz is going to see a little bit more of an increase in production, and I think he actually reaches the end zone in this one as well.
I think that's a pretty good play. He's gotten no less than 6 targets in any of the last 3 games. He still, his production has taken a little bit of a step back, but I think that when you're splitting time with the tight end, that's the type of thing that's going to happen. But he looks fine. He looks healthy. He looks good. He looks happy. I know there was trade talks earlier on in the offseason that obviously that's gone. And Philly's, it seems like no matter who the coaching staff is, they found a way to utilize the tight ends, and the Bucs secondary and safeties have been exploitable, up the seams
Yes.
in these
Yeah.
long crossing routes, which is something that Ertz is good at. And have we got confirmation that Goddard is out now? I haven't checked that yet.
I not confirmation, but it's likely. Yeah, it won't be available for Thursday's game against the Bucs.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, lock and load Ertz. If the only thing that you should be worried about is Goddard getting more work. So the talent's still there. He's still a really, really good tight end in the NFL. So for 4,800, I've got no concerns. I might actually slide him in as a captain in one or two spots tonight.
Yeah, and just how are you playing Devontae Smith, or what's going to be the shares of him? Because my problem is, like, if I'm paying up like that, I'm not paying up for Smith. I'd rather get Godwin and I'd rather get Brown. Yeah, you could probably mix and match and in one or two lineups have Smith. But to me, I'm not paying up 8,800 when, again, I'd rather go to some of the ancillary players. Now, Jalen Hurt is a must play. He's just fantasy production all over the place. And I think he's going to be a ton of production today, whether it's the game script calls for it or not. It's just their offense runs through him. But I find myself leaning more towards like Gainwell and Ertz than I am Devontae Smith.
Yeah, and then I'll also take a couple of shots on Rager tonight, because I mean his value is good, and he's gotten no less than 5 targets in all but one football game this season. So for 5K he gets 5 or 6 catches 2 or 3 of them, maybe gets a little yak, maybe brings one in. That 5K value pays off with no issue whatsoever.
Yeah, and I agree. It's just the same for the same reasons, but I'm going Quez Watkins because of that. He's been the one the target of, and of course the targets are not a lot, but he is the targets of those bubble screens. And look at the yardage and the average. It's just he has been getting these big plays. He's fast as all heck. And, we've seen them go to, especially against bad passing defenses, we've seen them go to this really short, quick passing game and a lot of bubble screens and a lot of easy catches. But it works because Quez Watkins is really fast. Like, if there's anything, Quez Watkins is a quick, fast wide receiver who's going to make a lot with the very little targets that he gets. And I think this is going to be one of those games where he does kind of break free a couple of times. He ends up with about 40, to 50, 60 yards after 3 catches and maybe a score as well. But Watkins is the guy that, look, I'm probably going to be targeting more than Jalen Reagor. Reagor just has problems. I know exactly what you're saying, though, of like he's getting the targets and it's the same thing of he has that big playability as well. I'm just not getting it consistently enough. And you could probably mix those two in terms of, again, the value wide receiver. But I'm leaning more towards Watkins.
I mean, sprinkle one or the other. I just have a preference for Reagor. So, I mean, you shouldn't be building one showdown lineup anyway. You should be splitting it up. So, divvy up your exposure and you'll be good to go. One of those two is going to do something.
Yes. Kenneth Gainwell, the cheapest player, by the way, that we are putting into the lineup at 2,400. Just asking, like, is there any huge salary relief play? And to me, it's a big fat no, because Ronald Jones is not getting involved enough. Greg Ward has been on the field at times, but I think he's going to be in the doghouse because of the penalty that he had in the end zone that took away a Devontae Smith touchdown. So I think he's going to be off the field a lot in this game. So there's not really anything. The cheapest, the where you're getting at least some salary relief here is Gainwell and Ertz.
I mean, they're gonna get a pass rush. I mean, they might. The thing is,
right? If you think that they, Andre Dillard, they can finally, because Andre Dillard I don't think is any good, but I don't think he's gotten really tested. If you think that Tampa Bay can finally test him, the problem is, though, like Jalen Hurts is one that he gets out of the pocket quick, too quick at times, and so he doesn't take very many sacks. I'd be very weary of the Tampa Bay Bucs team.
It would be less the sacks and more him getting his clock sped up and making an errant throw to the outside, and maybe one of those secondary players can make a play. Because if he's gonna make a bad throw, he makes several of them a game, just like really, really inaccurate throws where he just looks like he just completely lost the ball. And if it's the wrong down and distance, and if he's throwing like an 8-yard out route and he's 12 at the his own 12-yard line, he throws an out route, one of these DBs jumps on it, they could run it in for a pick six too. And that's another way that I could see something like that going down where the Bucs can score points.
You're tuned in to the Thursday Night Football Showdown with myself, Jon Jansen and Stoweby. This is all presented by the Sharp app. Go to sharp.link and you can see all the ways to download the Sharp app, whether that's the Google Play Store, Apple App Store, and also a 1-week free trial. The optimizer is included, and you can use the optimizer for tonight to quickly build great optimized lineups and use it for Sunday as well. 1 week free trial. Use the promo code LiveWeek. Link is in the description below. But if you use the promo code LiveWeek, you get a 1 week free trial. And I highly recommend that as we get ready for week 6 of the season. So as we start to wrap things up a little bit here still, because I think we went over the DFS, the showdown pretty well. And again, like I do find that, with this build, it's not enough salary relief if you're putting in Jalen Hurts as a captain. So I imagine, honestly, you're probably going to have to get a little bit creative with the captain spot, which look, I get it. It may be a little bad, but maybe.
Yeah, look, I don't mind doing that in a couple lineups. I'm going to do that. If he could have a classic Ertz game, just take a couple of them up the seam today. This is 6 or 7 targets.
Yeah, like this is the way you do it. You would have to put Ertz, maybe even Gainwell. I would but I honestly think you're going to have to get a little bit creative.
I'm less inclined for Gainwell and captain and more inclined for Ertz on DK.
Yeah, all I'll say is you have to get Hurts into your lineup. Like that is no ifs, ands, or buts. He's just going to be such a big fantasy asset. And he has been. He's been productive all season. And he's going to be really productive against this offense. Against this defense, even if, it's a game script in which they are down a bunch of points, they're still going to use Hurts. He's the focal point of that offense. Real quick, the Bucs are a 7-point favorite on the road. Where are you going with here? I'm actually going with the Eagles at +7, to be honest with
you. I think I could actually get on board with that.
7 is way too many points. Yeah, and the Bucs have only covered against 2 teams, and one of them was the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with that. That makes a lot of sense because they should be able to keep up. I think they're going to be. I think the Eagles are going to look ugly because most of the season they have, but I think they'll be able to keep it close.
Yes, I do as well, especially with that really bad Tampa secondary. All right, that is it for us. Actually, we got a trade question. Kyler, Kupp, and Knox for Rodgers, Justin Jefferson, Travis Kelce, and Gaskin.
Yes. If you're getting Rodgers, Justin Jefferson, and Kelce, that would actually be that.
Yeah, I know because it's tough because you're getting rid of probably 2 of the better players in fantasy right now in Kyler and Kupp. But Justin Jefferson's been outstanding. Travis Kelce's going to get going, especially.
And who would you be getting rid of to keep Gaskin? That would be a good question too.
Yeah. Gainwell or Braid. I'm all on Gainwell today. Braid's just not going to be like I know you want to attack the tight ends for the Eagles, and I get that like Braid and OJ Howard could certainly get a couple of catches, but this is going to be a big, I think, Antonio Brown day, Chris Godwin day. Gainwell's the one where I see a very clear path to him getting red zone carries because he has, and also this is going to be a big time. If you think the Eagles didn't run before, they're not going to run at all now because of Vita Vea and basically the defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm all on Gainwell today. That is it for us, though.
Yeah, Braid will get 3 targets, and if he catches a touchdown, great, but his upside is limited.
Very much, yes, very much. So that is it for us. We will be back tomorrow, Jason Mizrahi and I, doing a position-by-position preview here at Win Daily Sports. But that's it for us. Good luck tonight, everybody, and make sure, again, sign up 1 week free trial. Live Week is the promo code. Link is in the description below. We'll be back tomorrow here, Win Daily.